Hi, I'm Gary Gill Gaming, and today we're taking a look at some of my favourite Psytronic games for the Commodore 64. Now, Psytronic have been around since 1993 and created some great games to keep these systems going. There's some fantastic games also in this lineup, and they also include some brand new games that have only recently been published. So let's take a look. First game I want to show you is Barnsley Badger, and this was released in 2016. He plays the role as Barnsley, and he's basically a lazy badger, and he spent all his money on gambling. But he overheard then in his local boozer that is a rare coin that's been discovered. So your goal now is to find this coin by going through each of the platform levels, and all you gotta do then is collect it and try and save the day for yourself. It's a fantastic game, and also I love the music by Andrew Fisher. Next we have Sub Hunter, and this was released in 2008. Now Sub Hunter is a remaster of the original game Sub Hunt, and that was released in 1984, and that was published by Mastertronic. This is a great game, because the original game was one of my favourites growing up as a kid. So when I seen this one a good few years later, I thought, yeah, let's give this one a go, and it doesn't disappoint. It's very similar to the original, but vastly improved with graphics, music and gameplay. And the goal in this game is simple. All you gotta do is collect the divers and shoot everything else in your way. Darklands 2, released in 2023. Now Psytronic released this one on Halloween as a free game for anyone to take a look at. And it's a great game. Your goal in this is destroy all the aliens as you go. The only way you can do it is by shining your torch onto them first before you fire your gun. But there's a twist to it as well, because later levels, the levels get very dark, so it's very hard to spot the aliens. So you need to move our torch around as much as possible. It's a tough game, but it's very rewarding at the same time, this one. Next we have Guns and Ghosts, and this was released in 2013. This is a single screen platformer game with a difference. Your goal in this game is simple. All you gotta do is try and shoot all the zombies and all the enemies on each stage. There's 70 stages or screens for you to conquer, and on top of that as well, you gotta keep an eye on your shotgun because you gotta give it time to reload. So it's a bit of tacticalness to it too. If you like an adventure platformer on the Commodore 64, you should certainly check this next game out. This is Knights and Grail, and this was released in 2009. You play as the role as a brave knight, but your beloved has been turned into a dragon with a spell, and your goal now is to find the magical grail. So you're basically hunting your way through his castle, unlocking doors, picking up new weapons as you go. And you will need the new weapons because certain enemies only get killed by certain items or weaponry. It's a great game and certainly one you need to check out. Next we have Outrage, and this was released in 2020. Now Outrage has got a bit of a story behind it, because the game was originally going to be developed and released back in the early 90s, but it never happened. And over the years many people tried to sort the problem out and get the game released, but it's not until now you actually can play it. It's a great run and gun shoot 'em up on the Commodore 64, it's got great music and graphics. Some of the Commodore 64 community don't rate this game very highly, but I've certainly been enjoying it myself. Next we have Essien, and this was released in 2016. Now this game is an action platformer game, and it's a great one too. You play a role as Kim, and she's a low-level security guard working for a science corporation. But unfortunately, their latest invention goes wild, and it's up to you to save the day. It's got great music and graphics and gameplay in this one. Lakia, The Lost Island, and this was released in 2022. Now this game is huge. and if you like a top-down adventure on a Commodore 64, this one will certainly take a while you to do as well. It's visually stunning, it's got absolutely amazing music as well, and great gameplay throughout. Even the cutscenes are impressive as well. This game certainly pushes the Commodore 64 to the limit, and you even can get the Commodore 16 and the +4 version too. Pains and Aches, and this was released in 2018. This is the sequel to Knights and Grail, and the story continues from the previous game. It's a great game, it's got great music and graphics, and it's visually stunning to look at. What a game this is. It'll take you a while to complete this one, but it's certainly great fun. Solus 2, The Armour of the Gods, and this was released in 2021, and this is the sequel to the original Solus game, and that's a great game. This is obviously carries on from the original story, and in this one, the game continues on with the story of King Ryzak as he embarks on a quest to find mighty armour of gods before it falls into the hands of the evil wizard Callan. It's a great game, great music and visuals in this one too, and I would recommend you certainly checking this and the prequel out. Next we have Terrestrial, released in 2022. If you're a big fan of Raid Over Moscow, or you love the Beachhead series like myself, then you certainly need to give this game a try. It's very similar, it's a great game, it's got great multiple style of levels to it too, so it'll keep you hooked. Some people say it's a bit boring, the game itself, but for me it's a great game. I reckon the developers Icon 64 done a great job with this one. So next we have Steel Ranger, released in 2018. Now this game is very similar to Turret Gun, and I'm a big Turret Gun fan, so if you like the Turret Gun games you certainly need to give this game a try. It's got great music, graphics and gameplay. This game will certainly have you hooked in no time. So now we come down to our final two games, and these two games have only been recently released, and I only recently started playing them. First up we have Good Night, and this is obviously released in 2024. Now Good Night is a Hunchback clone. If you like your Hunchback games growing up as a kid, you certainly need to check this one out. It's got great music and graphics and gameplay, and the later levels will certainly test you to the limits. So we come to the last game, and this is Ha Harrigan, and this was also released in 2024, and like Good Night, it was developed by Icon 64. This is a great game. You play as a role as 64K, and his job is to try and get off a prison ship, and the only way you can do that is blast your way through each level and collect all the key cards and unlock the doors and try and get out. It's got great music, fantastic intro music, and great gameplay too. This is a game you certainly need to check out. Well, that's it for this one. Some great games in this lineup, you must agree. But anyway, look after yourselves and I'll catch you all again soon. Bye for now.